Welcome to the audio version of our Daily Coach newsletter, a reading of some of our greatest hits from more than 6 years of email newsletters that have been read by tens of thousands of leaders and learners. If you want our latest newsletter delivered to your inbox every day, you can subscribe for free at thedaily.coach/subscribe or follow the link in the description. The Green Jacket and the Inner Game, Mastering the Mind Before the Moment. To step onto the perfectly manicured greens of Augusta National is to enter hollowed ground, where greatness is both expected and elusive. For every up-and-coming golfer, the Masters tournament represents more than a championship. It's the pinnacle of a lifelong pursuit. To don the iconic green jacket is not just a sign of victory, but a symbol of devotion to a craft nurtured far from the spotlight. In April 2025, Rory McIlroy, already a household name in the sport, added his name to history, completing the career Grand Slam and becoming just the sixth male golfer in history and the first European to win all four major championships: the US Open, PGA Championship, the Open Championship, and now the Masters. But this wasn't just a victory. It was the culmination of an 11-year drought, an exhale after more than a decade of expectation, disappointment, and quiet work in the shadows. It was a breakthrough beyond the leaderboard. McIlroy's win isn't just a moment of celebration. It's a mirror for us as leaders, coaches, and high performers. Because behind the trophies and the headlines lies a universal challenge we all wrestle with: our relationship with presence, identity, performance, and self-worth. My battle today was with myself. It wasn't with anyone else. My battle today was with my mind and staying in the present, McIlroy expressed following his round at the Masters. How often do we attach our worth to outcomes? How tightly do we cling to our roles, our titles, or a good scorecard to feel like we're enough? On the I Can Fly podcast with Morgan Hoffman and Jig Coughlin III, McIlroy peeled back the curtain on a truth that many of us quietly carry. It took me a while to separate my score from my feelings about myself. If I shot 65, I felt great. I felt really good about myself. If I shot 75, I'd feel really crappy, McIlroy said. It probably took me a good decade into my professional career to get to the point where I could disassociate that. Just because you shot a good score doesn't make you the greatest person on earth. And just because you shot a bad score doesn't make you a piece of crap. This isn't just golf wisdom, it's leadership and life wisdom. McIlroy's growth wasn't just technical, it was internal. He learned to carry his performances with greater grace and perspective, seeing them not as reflections of his identity, but as moments in time, opportunities to evolve and bounce back from setbacks. Once I got there, then I started to see a pattern. I'd follow a bad day with a good day, where I think before I would let a bad day affect me so much, I probably followed up with another bad day. So I think that was the positive that came out of it. I learned how to bounce back better. For any of us in positions of influence or responsibility, this story begs the question: how are we defining ourselves? Is our value wrapped up in the outcomes and applause? Or are we learning, like McIlroy, to separate who we are from what we do? There's something sacred in sticking with the craft, especially when the rewards don't come quickly. Something noble in choosing presence over perfection, process over praise. Rory McIlroy's journey and excellence remind us that sometimes the most important championships are won within. And the green jacket? That's just a bonus. Thanks for joining this episode of The Daily Coach. On behalf of Michael Lombardi, Coach George Raveling, and the entire Daily Coach team, we're grateful for your support. Remember, the most important person you will ever lead is yourself. Keep growing, keep learning, and most importantly, keep showing up.